Hey everybody, it's my 125 gallon tank, and I just wanted to do a quick update on my new lavender gourami. For those of you who don't know, I got this a few days ago from a friend of mine who was having some trouble with it in a few of his tanks. He's got some other gouramis and even a few other fish that this gourami was given a hard time to. It's a female. I don't know whether it's got eggs or not, but it's definitely a nice plump female. It's a little more than a year old, and again, it was really problematic in both of the tanks that he had, both a 60 gallon and a 30 gallon, and again, it was just too much for him, so he gave it to me, and I put it in here with the hopes that once it got into the tank with some big fish, it would more or less figure out that it's not so tough after all. And that seems to be the case. From moment one, I've not seen the slightest little hint of aggression. It went around, cruised around the tank, it checked out everybody. If you're familiar with gouramis, they use their little feelers, their little, they're actually modified ventral fins, but they look very much like, and they treat them very much like feelers. And so she went around the tank and she checked everybody out, and it was kind of interesting when she met the other fish, when she met the rainbow fish and stuff, she just kind of checked them out. But when she met the tenopoma there, which is a closely related fish, a cousin of hers, as soon as she touched that fish, she was like, "Ooh, okay," and she like backed way off and kind of kept her distance. The tenopoma never showed any aggression, never, bothered her. But as soon as she realized it was that kind of fish or something, I don't know, it was strange. It was, all she did was touch it with her feeler, and immediately she backed off as though she knew what kind of fish it was and knew that fish was trouble or something. I don't know. Maybe the fish can communicate in ways that we don't fully understand. Maybe it vibrated at her or made some kind of noise in the water. I don't know. But it definitely backed off immediately. And then the same thing happened when it came in contact with my big snakeskin gourami you can see there. The difference is with the snakeskin gourami, that too is a true gourami and has the modified ventral fins that behave like feelers, and that's what they came in contact with. It was almost like they shook hands. The two feelers came in contact, and as soon as they came in contact, the new lavender gourami here immediately retreated and backed off to a safe distance. Again, it didn't run away like it was scared or anything, but definitely took the submissive pose and backed off and said, "Okay, I'm going to give you your space. I get it. You're the boss here." And that was it. A couple little interactions when they first got to know each other, and I have not seen an issue one. The shark back there isn't bothering the gourami. I didn't expect the shark to bother the gourami. I always find it interesting when you look at this tank how many fish I've got that all just stay cooped up right at this end of the tank for some reason. It's not like there's not more places for them to be in this tank or places for them to swim around. I get it that the far end of the tank here has more open swimming around space than the other parts of the tank, but not by much. And yet they all just kind of congregate down at this end of the tank, except for the fish that are a little more reclusive and tend to like to lay low and hide, like my tenopoma you can see there. It's amazing how big that fish is, and yet it just vanishes into this tank, especially if the glass gets a little bit dirty and the vegetation gets a little bit thicker. That fish can just vanish into this tank, despite being about 8.5 inches long at this point and thick as a brick. So there you go. That was just a brief update on what's going on my brand new lavender gourami. I honestly shot this as much for my friend to watch so that he can see how his new fish is doing as I did for everybody else, because for fairly obvious reasons at the moment we haven't been able to hang out just yet. Hopefully that'll be changing soon enough though, so we'll see what happens. So there you go everybody, just a quick look at my new lavender gourami. And I will say on one final note, I know I keep dragging this on, but on one final note, I know a lot of you keep saying I don't see any lavender in that fish at all, and I'm right there with you. I don't know why they call these lavender gouramis. I've seen a lot of them in shops. My friend has had 2 or 3 of these over the years. They're beautiful fish, they really are. I really like them, but I don't see lavender. I've never seen lavender color in these fish. They look sort of I don't even really know what color they look like to me, but it definitely is not what I would describe as lavender. It looks more brown and yellowy brown to me than a lavender color, but you know, my eyes are not the best when it comes to color. I just bought a pair of shoes that I thought were purple and they turned out to be royal blue, and my wife was surprised because she didn't know why I ordered blue shoes, because to her they looked blue. To me they looked purple. So who knows, maybe I'm not seeing the lavender and it really is there. I'd be interested in getting your opinion down below, but I have had several people already ask me why it's called a lavender gourami, because it doesn't look lavender to them either. So again, I'll give you can tell me, what do you think that is? Is that lavender or not? All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you're subscribed. You never know what you're going to get from me. And don't forget, of course, this one here is my 125 gallon tank. So thanks again. I'll see you real soon in the next one.